Bank closures, government bailouts. Are we about to relive the mortgage crisis of 2007 in 2023?
The biggest bank collapse since the 2008 financial crisis.
Financial regulators figure out how to manage the fallout of the Silicon Valley Bank failure.
Markets this year are going to get hit with what he is calling a perfect storm.
Silicon Valley Bank, that's the big news right now in 2023. Amongst other things, there's a lot of big news, of course, but Silicon Valley Bank. Big bank went under basically overnight. The whole world's screaming, shouting, let's not have the government bail them out. So what exactly happened? To be completely honest with you, I don't really know. It's in a different segment of banking, financing, and money that I don't deal with. I can tell you what I deal with. If you're looking to buy a home, I know lending guideline on a fairly granular level relative to what hit Silicon Valley Bank. Now, there's a lot of people out there who can do videos and explain all of that stuff incredibly well. This is the biggest message I have for this video, is that there's gonna be a lot of news about we're about to relive the financial crisis with banks going under and oh my God, what's gonna happen? This message today is directed at real estate agents, loan officers, individuals who are in the trenches, or somebody who's looking to buy their first home or sell their existing home. Is that gonna affect us? Of course it will, but you know what? Let's look into the diary. Let's look into the history of what happened before and did we survive it? Well, simple. We only have to go as far back as 2007 to see the Great Financial Crisis, the Great Recession as it was called. You know, predatory lending, subprime lending, mortgage lending, the mortgage crisis, whatever in the world you want to call it. They had 1,000 different names for it. Back at that time, for those who worked through it in my industry, originated loans through it, did not get out of the industry, here's reality. Back in 2007, 2008, when Lehman Brothers, Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, when those companies were sinking faster than the Titanic went under, faster than the Hindenburg went down, okay? Back at that time, everybody was saying the same things. Oh my God, we're all done. This is over. We're all gonna be bankrupt. The whole country will never rebound from it. And lo and behold, do you wanna know what happened? We rebounded. Whether the actions and acts that got us there were right or wrong, whether the laws that came about were right or wrong, I did not like Chris Dodd or Barney Frank. They came out with DoddFrank, which was the largest financial reform in the history of our country since Glass-Steagall in 1934. You're talking a big, big deal. All right, I did not like those people, but I'll tell you what, the laws that came about from that, I said, man, it overhauled our industry. It made our industry a lot safer, a lot better, and a lot stronger. Is it perfect? No. Silicon Valley Bank just bit the dust, and now the government is stepping in to help backstop, do whatever. There's gonna be a million people out there that say, let them fail, let them fail, let them fail. I'll tell you this at the end of the day, it's not good just to let big companies fail. And for all the people out there, they're saying, oh, he's one. I'm not some big, I'm not some billion-dollar entity or something like that. But the reality is there's a lot of billion-dollar businesses that exist because a lot of big banks like that took a lot of big chances and risks that allowed those businesses to get where they were going. So at the end of the day, this is not good necessarily, but if you're just an individual working in the field in the trenches, just keep doing what you do. Keep following the actions that you follow on a daily basis that you know you have to do. Make your calls today. Learn, read about it. Do you have to become an expert on tranches and hedging and long-term rates versus short-term rates and venture capital? No, you don't have to learn any of that stuff. You have to learn every conversation you have, make sure it's a quality conversation. Make sure you're educating the individual on what fits them the best for their personal situation. Owning is not always good and renting is not always bad. I've said that over 1,000 times. Don't get caught up in this gigantic big picture of, oh my God, we're about to go under. Right now, thinking big is not good in my opinion. Think small. Look at the small picture. You know what the small picture says? The small picture says, I've got to go to work today and work as hard as I can. And whatever comes tomorrow is going to come tomorrow. Whatever's happening in Silicon Valley and California, it's happening with or without me. I've got to worry about my actions today with where I am. So make sure all this news doesn't overwhelm you, doesn't scare you, doesn't paralyze you. There's a lot of people out there, it's going to paralyze you. Don't let it paralyze you. At the end of the day, we're not in some mega gigantic financial crisis that we will never get out of. Is this a bad time with inflation? A lot of government spending that's simply a joke and should be cut out of the picture, and that's the number one issue. Secondarily, with choking off supply chains and shutting everything down, on and off and on and off. And that's a whole nother story I can go into. At the end of the day, keep working. And in 3 to 5 to 7 to 10 years, you know what we're gonna look at? Or I should say in 10 years? In 10 years, we're gonna look back at this time, just like we look back at 2007. There's a lot of people who look back at 2007 and say, what happened? Okay, we'll make it through. We're gonna be fine. Keep working, keep your head up, stay positive, and turn on Diary of a Madman, man. You'll love the song. You'll love the guitar parts by my guy, Randy Rhoads. Love Randy Rhoads. So anyways, see you at the next video. Like, subscribe, and share these videos for all of your friends out there, and definitely subscribe so keep getting my subscribers up. Talk to you guys later.